Hey everyone, I hope everyone is doing okay. So, when I started this season, I really wanted to talk to artists from the music industry, and I'm finally able to do so. This and the next episode will help you understand about different perspectives of emerging new artists about their career as a musician. For this episode, I have talked to Bhavna Menon, a singer, songwriter, and a composer from Bangalore who has released her two songs on YouTube and many other platforms. So, let's not waste more time and begin this episode. Bhavna, thank you so much for doing this episode with me. It's a great opportunity for me to understand the music industry and to understand how independent artists are tackling, the situation right now going on, and how it has been, some kind of a journey. It can be a roller coaster. It can be something else as well.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me, Samat. I'm super excited and I can't wait to answer any questions you have. So let's do it. So,
Okay.
I am a singer, songwriter, and composer primarily, and I have been working on a lot of original music, and I've released two singles so far on my YouTube channel and across all music platforms. So yeah, that's a small intro into what I am and what I do.
Okay. So
Yeah.
what's your genre as per se? Like, you're an independent artist that you said, but what's your genre?
So I would say like my primary genre is R&B and pop and a
Okay,
little bit of hip hop. Like these
that's
are
really
like my
nice.
primary genres. But I also really love soft rock and a little bit of
Okay,
indie, so I might do that too at some point. Yeah.
that's great. That's amazing. So, Bhavna, when did you know that you wanted to be a musician, and you had this whole feeling of yes, this is something I want to pursue?
So, honestly, like music for singing for like the longest time ever since I was a kid was always something that I just did for myself. Like I was always just singing everywhere I went, like my room, my like at school, on the road, on the street, like everywhere. And my friends would just be like, "Can you please be quiet?" Like because I was just like I was known as the jukebox, like the walking jukebox, because I was just singing all the time. And I never really considered it as something to do for other people. Like it was always something that I did for myself. And of course, when I was young, like like really like a kid, like yes, at that time it was like, yeah, I want to be a singer and all, but it was like a kind of a fantasy. Like yes, I do, but it's not actually gonna happen because at that age, your singing is something you do on the side. It's not like something you do as a main thing. So, and also Indian mentality and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then like a few years back, I was actually traveling in Himachal Pradesh, and while trekking over there, again, like I was just singing while trekking, and I didn't realize I was singing. And then like all the friends that I made there and the people I met there, like they heard me on the trek, and they were like, "Oh my God, we love your voice! Please sing more!" And they were like asking me to sing, and I think that trip kind of changed it around for me in the sense that I considered singing for other people
Okay.
and not just for myself anymore. And yeah, and then that's how it kind of started. And a few years ago, I started uploading covers onto YouTube and onto social media. But something just felt really missing. Like that was the typical route that singers were taking. And, like putting up a lot of covers and like sort of being consistent with that. But I think something just felt deeply missing for me. And I realized that I didn't just want to be a singer, I wanted to be an artist. I wanted to make my own songs and tell my own stories. And yeah, then I just embarked on the journey ever since then.
That's amazing. You had the spark somewhere, or you got the realization on that trek that yes, this is something that you want to do, and
Yeah.
having the chance to actually express yourself through covers or through your own songs is something very beautiful and unique that singers have. I really don't know how you guys come up with such melodious songs, such amazing lyrics that it touches our heart in a whole different way, and our emotions are something that can be portrayed through songs and different lyrics through by independent artists like you and many other artists as well. So it's amazing how it works out. So everyone has an inspiration, right? So what was your inspiration when it comes to singing? Who was or what was your inspiration?
Okay, so my first singing inspiration was Mariah Carey when I was like 11, 12 years old. She was the queen, and I used to listen to her so often, and she was definitely like the first female artist to make me fall in love with singing, basically. Yeah, and then it was her, and right now I would say Ariana Grande is another really big inspiration, and yeah, it's mostly artists from the West right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
When it comes to singing, and as you said, that Indian mentality, Indian society is something that people don't, where people don't think about being a musician is something that they can be, pursuing as a full time career. Be
Yeah.
it from your younger age or be it at the age of 24, 25, 26, anyone where they start to understand that this is something that they want to pursue, they don't have that understanding because there are a lot of mentality around you. The Indian mentality is such that the business mindset, the job mindset, or starting or something of your own. There's nothing artistic about that unorthodox nature of orthodox nature of the society. But people don't understand this unorthodox nature of letting people be a choreographer, be a musician, be a artist, be a director, be an actor, or whatever it is, because a lot of people don't understand. So coming to that question, I really want to know, were there any prejudices or stereotypes that you face when it comes to getting into this industry? Because here a lot of support is required, obviously, because at first you don't just grow. That's not the luck that you have. You have to have some talent. You have to have that ability, that consistency as well, but the support is also required, be it your parents, be it your friends, be it other family members, be it yourself. So, what kind of prejudices have you faced throughout your journey?
Well, I don't know if I've really faced. So it's not really prejudices I faced. It's more of like a lot of doubt. Because when you're just starting out, like even when you're telling your friends or even like your loved ones, you're like, oh, this is what I want to do, and they're like, oh, this is what you want to do. Okay, how are you gonna do it? How are you gonna do that? Like everyone's just wondering how. So it was more of that kind of like questioning that I faced, especially in the beginning. It was more of just like, oh, how are you going to do it? Like, are you sure that's what you want to do? And like that kind of energy is coming from all directions. So that was definitely one of the biggest sort of like challenges in the beginning, and like things that I had to like socially face, to sort of to get past and to like get the support that I needed. But of course, like my parents are just incredibly supportive, and I'm so lucky for that. So yeah, I would say that was the biggest one. But like I would say it definitely takes some time to like build the kind of relationships you need, because it doesn't just happen like that unless you're born into that kind of family, or like you already know people who are well connected within the industry. So it does take some time to really find your way around and to build the trust from people, because it's not like you can just meet someone and then someone who's already established, let's say, and then say like, hey, I want this. Like they have to trust you first, for them to even like help you in the way that you need. So or anything, if not even help, even just provide that connection or that relationship that you need. So yeah, it does take quite a bit of time and effort to build those relationships, to find them in the first place, because even finding the right people is a whole ball game that you need to that it just takes like ages. So yeah, these are the main things, I
So
would
I
say.
have a few friends around me who have gotten into this industry of music, and they are some are songwriters, some are actually singers and independent artists like you as well. But the genre is something different. But yes, I can somewhere feel that India as a country, celebrating and backing up independent artists is something very rare, and it has starting to grow right now. There's a start that's been going on, and a lot of independent artists have come up, and such beautiful and great songs have come up because of them. So what do you think, how hard is it for independent artists in India to actually start a music career, or get into this industry and have a growth, and be in this industry till the time they want to be, like not leave it in between or something like that?
Yeah. So there's actually multiple layers to this answer, because like India already has a very strange situation going on with music. Okay, so there's a movie industry, which is Bollywood, and then there is a music industry that is created just for that movie industry, and this is like majority of the consumption of the country, right? And then there is like a whole space of disjointed sort of members of like a disjointed community of people who are like trying to like do their own thing and do
Yeah,
something
yeah, yeah.
separate from the movie industry, right? So there's already like from the offset itself, there's already like a very very vague um path or yeah, just a vague like field of things going on. And already it is, so let's say it was like a very robust industry and
Mm.
things were already happening. I think the path would be a bit clearer, because you'd be like, okay, this is the patterns of consumption, and this is what I can do to sort of find my way in these patterns. But right now the patterns are like all over the place and just like mostly vague, so it starts off itself like that, so it's even like more difficult to find the path that fits you perfectly.
Okay.
Okay, like I would say in India. So that is like, that starting off is already one of the biggest challenges. And yeah, like apart from that, I think this is across the board anywhere, is that the most important part of your journey, or one of the most important things, is, I would say, the people. Because the people involved in the process of creating a song or creating a music video, they are instrumental in creating that final vision and meeting that vision that you have. And so if you don't find the people who you connect with on all levels, and I say like in terms of musical connection, in terms of personal connection, in terms of budget, in terms of so many things, it's going to affect that final vision. And it takes a lot of time and effort, again, to really find the people that are going to be most conducive to your vision, and like help you get there. So yeah, that's another thing. And also, budget is definitely a huge thing, because, well, and this is again for artists all across, because people don't realize how expensive a game music and music video is. It's so expensive, and it's not easy. Like, most independent artists have a day job to support,
Mm.
because otherwise they just can't. I mean, if they want to release their own music, it's very difficult to do it if you're not if you don't have that kind of financial backing. So yeah, that's a huge one. And um yeah, with India also, like, I think matching up to the kind of quality standard requires, like, that's already kind of popular, again, requires a lot of money. So yeah, it's another big challenge.
I actually agree with you where it comes to these kinds of challenges. But uh, no offense here, but do you think, being as we live in a patriarchal society and there's a lot of things that women have to go through, be it in any industry, if you're comfortable enough to answer this question, please do answer. I just wanted to know that, have you faced, or any one of your friends or people face such kinds of stereotypes or prejudices in the music industry just because you're a woman?
I mean, I think it's definitely very prevalent throughout all music industries everywhere. The struggles that women have to face, or maybe, well, so I have definitely faced it, and I know a lot of women who have, in different forms, like whether it's like sexual harassment is a totally different
Yeah.
story, but even apart from that, just like maybe being passed over for something because maybe you did not act in a certain way that they wanted you to, or maybe there was just someone who had certain qualities that they were looking for that you did not have, but it wasn't really conveyed beforehand. Like, it's
Okay.
kind of subtle. Like, yeah, it's difficult to explain without details, but there are a lot of like subtle things that happen in this way. But again, I would like to say that I feel like this is there in every industry everywhere, and it's about finding the people, it's about maintaining your own integrity, and choosing. Of course, it is difficult, because in the beginning you're like trying to put yourself out there and do as much as you can, but it is also important to just like make sure you're doing the kind of projects you want to, and working with the people that treat you as a human being and not as a woman, not as
Yeah, something like
someone with a gender. Yeah.
understandable. Completely
Yeah.
agree with you. The right kind of people and the right mindset has to be there in those human beings that surround you, because when it comes to something that you love, there is also a chance of getting demotivated very easily. In slight bits and
Sure.
pieces, something that goes wrong out of the blue can actually make you very demotivated when it comes to something that you adore and love and want to pursue your whole life, or you
Yeah.
just want to do it from your whole heart. So I totally agree that those set of men or women or any kind of people around you is
Yeah.
very important when it comes to anything like this. But as we are talking about stereotypes and everything, there has been a lot of things that has been going on in our in the world around us. So when I
Mm.
say two words, that is pandemic and mental health, what comes in your mind? How do you feel right now thinking about those things as well? And plus, what actually comes in your mind when you hear these two words?
So I would like what first comes to mind is that there seems to be this, not seems to be, there clearly is this consciousness of fear that's pervading the entire world. You know, like when I talk to my friends, when I talk to my loved ones, everyone just, there's just this overarching feeling of fear that's just there in everything they say, like, oh my god, this is happening, that is happening, it's just such a bad scene, yeah, but I'm scared to do this, yeah, but I don't want to go there because of this. You know, there's just this like a fear that's underlying everything. So I think it's just so important for us to manage that, you know, just like how if we have a wound on our body, we would tend to that wound, and we would take the time to let it heal, and, you know, like tend to it every day so that it heals. The same way, this fear consciousness that's going on, like, that's also a wound in our minds. And I feel like we all need to, like, spend some time every day tending to that wound. So yeah, that's
Mm,
the first
And
thing.
such a beautiful way to explain it. I mean, it's really nice to see how positively you actually explain the fear here, because a lot of people
Yeah.
get anxious when they hear the word pandemic, because even though something good has happened in their life throughout the pandemic till now, even though something good has happened, is this anxiousness that they have when they hear this word COVID-19, pandemic, mental
Mhm.
health. This is something that has been going on since so long. It's like it feels like forever right now, because we have been stuck at
Yeah.
home, cannot meet friends, cannot go out that regularly. So I totally
Yeah.
understand that. And I we have talked about such negative things already. I don't want to go ahead with that. Let's start with something positive. Can you
Sure.
share with our listeners something really fond that you're fond of, a memory that you're really fond of throughout the years of as a musician?
I would say just the experience of my two releases are my fondest memories, you know, because um, there's so much of love and effort and time that goes into it, and every single piece of work is a labor of love, you know, because there's just everyone who is in music and who is in it from the heart and soul, like, they know, they will relate to this when I say that, like, there's just so much love that goes into it, like, love is the input. You know. So yeah, I would say just the whole, just the creation of those songs, the shooting of those songs, the release of those songs, like, those two would be my fondest memories. So actually, in my during my first shoot, Tasir, it was right after the last year's lockdown, and it was like I had waited so long, and I was just like, oh, we gotta do it, we gotta do it. And then on the day of the shoot, it rained. It rained and rained and rained and rained for, like, I think 4 hours or something. Oh, okay, maybe 3 hours or something like that. But the point is, when it rains, you can't shoot. So
Yeah.
it was actually really, like, disheartening and disappointing, and it was really sad because we couldn't shoot. But then we were all kind of standing under this, like, we made like a makeshift raincoat for all of us, because we were stuck in the middle of a field. We couldn't even, like, run back to shelter. We were just there stuck. So we made this, like, raincoat thingy out of some sheet, and like, five of us were just standing there under it for a whole 45 minutes waiting for the rain to stop. And that ended up being like a very, like, it's like a fun, sweet memory from that shoot, you know. And like, it's actually the things that go not according to plan that end up staying in your memory.
That,
So
that is
yeah.
that is that is absolutely true.
Yeah.
You don't actually understand those kinds of scenarios when they happen, but after they
Yeah.
happen, they stuck in your head. They're stuck in your head in such a way that you actually enjoy thinking about those memories, and
Yeah, exactly.
it feels so great right now. I can see in your face and your voice as well that you're so happy to actually express that memory, rather than expressing your anxiousness at that time when you had it ki yaar abhi itna acha mauka tha to just record everything
Yeah,
and done, and right now it's raining. But right now when you're saying it feels like it's a very good memory rather than a bad one. So thank you for sharing that.
absolutely.
Okay.
And I mean, that's how it is, because sometimes we get so lost in, like, oh my god, like, it has to be done, it has to be done, we got to do it, that we forget, like, that it's such a just fun experience, like, we're shooting. shooting my music video and like getting to do this. So yeah, I think after that, that's the feeling that overtakes me instead. So yeah.
That's nice. So any
Yeah.
kind, any kind of achievement that you want to, like, I know there are two songs that you have released, and there are a lot more songs coming out. So I'm just interested, and I believe a bit more intrigued here to understand and know some kind of achievement rather than this that you have had, in your whole career prospect. Because when people will be listening to this, and some people who actually are enthusiastic about pursuing this career as a whole, as their life, and something that they want to do throughout their life, they will have this understanding that there are certain different achievements as well in your life when it comes to this journey as well, because this is something unorthodox, and a lot of people are demotivated easily rather than getting motivated. So hearing your achievements, rather than, like, you have shared so many difficulties that you have faced, you have shared so much your fond memory as well, about something that has been going on in the industry, everything. But I would really like to know, other than the two songs that you have released, what is one more achievement that you would like to share with us?
I mean, yeah, apart from my two songs, I'm trying to think. So I think when I was just starting out, like a really big achievement in itself for me was when I started composing. Because for the longest time, I think, like, before you compose, you can never think that, you never believe that you do it. You're like, I don't think I can do it. I don't think I can do it. But when I started composing, like, that definitely felt amazing, because I just knew deep in my heart that, like, it wasn't just singing that I wanted to do. It wasn't just like singing other people's songs, or singing covers, or asking, or like maybe like getting songs made for me. I really wanted to like express myself. I really wanted to like I wanted those unexpressed emotions to manifest themselves through me. And so yeah, I would say like the first biggest achievement, that's also my fondest, is when I started composing. I'm not sure if that's what you
No,
want.
no,
That's the kind of answer.
no, it
Yeah.
is amazing, because you, as you said, that you really didn't know that you could compose and you would actually,
Yeah.
release two of your own songs. At first, you just
Yeah.
started as, this is something that I love to do, and I would like to put
Yeah.
out covers. And one day, out of the blue, you realize that this is something I want to do. I want to compose. I want to put out
Yeah.
my feelings as well, and that is
Yeah.
that is actually a very big achievement in itself.
Yeah.
So,
Hmm.
one piece of advice that you would like to give all the people out there who want to do something as an independent artist, or an artist, who wants to get into
Yeah.
the Bollywood and sing, and get into this industry of music.
Yeah. So your your mental zone and your inner zone, let's just say your inner zone, has to be rock solid. Like, when I say rock solid, I mean rock solid. Like, if someone tells you that you suck or that you're horrible, you have to literally like have a wall of immunity against that kind of thing. Because if you let what other people say affect you, then it's never going to happen. Then you'll probably quit really soon. So you just have to have this delusional belief in yourself, and it's easier said than done, for sure. It's something that develops itself. Like, don't expect yourself to have that kind of feeling on the first day. It's not going to happen. It's not something you're born with, which is a good thing, because that means you can develop it. You can work on it on a daily basis. And even if it's small things, like looking in the mirror and being like, you're amazing, like anything, figure it out for yourself. But you have to really have a delusional belief in yourself, like in a way that sort of disregards reality. You just, no matter, even if 100 people are telling you, you just just have to be immune.
Exactly.
That's one of the biggest advice I would have.
That's an amazing advice, because, as I said, and as you have been repeating, I have been repeating, that a lot of people actually lack that enthusiasm in the between. And you have said that there were a lot of people telling you that they didn't have confidence in you somewhere. So
Yeah.
getting this advice from you is something that I really think that a lot of people will relate to. But what this question is something that I really want to know by, like, myself as well, because I want to have an idea of different industries as well, because I am talking to so many different kinds of people on my podcast, that having the idea of different industries is something that interests me. So I would really like to know
Mhm.
two things, or let's keep it at two only. Two things that we do not know about the music industry. People like me, not about I'm not talking about the musicians here. People who want to be musicians, no. People like me who listen to the songs, who actually see the videos, who don't know the background of what goes on. What are the two things that you can share, without being having any controversy or something like that? But two things that you can share with us that normal people like me do not know about the industry.
Okay, so definitely one huge thing people don't know about is that a song is not a simple thing to make. I mean, it can take years to make a song, and it's not black and white. It's not straightforward. It's not like, okay, chalo, let's do A B C D E, song done. It is so different for every single song you do. It's so different for every type person you work with, every type of artist. Like, every artist is different, every song is different. So one song can take 5 minutes, one song can take years, literally. I mean, Dr. Dre works on his album for like years and years, so that's one example. um, yeah, and many songs like take that, they just come out and they just finish in 3 minutes. So people think, yeah, 3 minutes, like maybe the thought doesn't go into like the behind, right? But a 3 minute song could have taken 5 months to make, and 5 months of like diligent daily work. Um, and 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 another thing is that there are so many different aspects to a song. There's production, then there's vocals, then there's mixing, there's mastering. There's so many different little processes to one single 3 minute song, that most non-musicians don't have no idea about. So yeah, that's one thing. Second thing is that a lot of people still don't realize that music and movies are two separate entities. That's
Yeah,
a
you can talk about
that
that.
is
You can
Yeah, so
talk about.
that is the biggest sort of like thought process throughout the public culture, is that um, music means Bollywood.
Hmm.
Music equates to Bollywood. That's like the general perception. Music equates to
Yeah.
Bollywood. So like, oh, I want to be a singer. Oh, you want to sing for Bollywood. Oh, you want to be a playback singer, like that. So that is like the first reaction I get, or the first like question I get. And I'm just like, yeah, I would love to, but that's not my goal. Like, I would love to, but there are so many other ways to approach music. There is so
Yeah.
much more to music than Bollywood. Bollywood is a movie industry, and the music gets made for
Fun.
those movies.
Yeah.
But that's not music. That's not all that music is. So I think that's the biggest thing, is that music equates to Bollywood. But apart from Bollywood, there's so much
But,
amazing stuff as well across the country. So yeah, I think that distinction between movies and music, which it used to be there at some point in the
yes. Yes.
19 2000s,
The
it was
19
there. There was a distinction, but it slowly again faded out, and mostly
now
music
it's
has
coming
been
back.
yeah, music is associated with
I
Bollywood.
I really want my parents to actually listen to such beautiful, amazing bands, amazing artists out there, that a lot of like my parents, my family, parents, friends, everyone don't know about, because the
Yeah,
singing pattern, even though they sing in Hindi, English, any other language, any other genre, it's like so different, and it hits so different because there's no drama. When it comes to movie, there's drama, there's something you already
yeah,
have in mind. The
yeah.
item numbers are something different altogether, but when you listen to these kinds of songs, it hits so different. I am someone who didn't understand about this industry at all. The thing that you talked about, the second point, is something that I
Yeah.
also used to relate, because I used to think कि यार हॉलीवुड में तो गाना नहीं आता, like they take out albums and everything, and यहाँ पे I am seeing कि only movies have songs. They don't have any other song as well, and I believe I didn't come up to those artists. Like, those artists weren't introduced to me, and I didn't know about those artists at all. But after a while, when I went to college and I saw that my friends are actually pursuing it, and when they introduce themselves, there's this they introduce themselves as independent artists. I was like, I
Yeah.
asked this question to my friend, and he was like that, independent artist का मतलब यही है कि I am on my own here. I am bringing
Yeah.
out my own songs. Production house कुछ और हो सकता है. This is different. No one's backing me at that sort. मेरा खुद का गाना है and everything. Then I was
Yeah.
like, then what about bands India में है क्या? Then he introduced me to a few different different bands, different musicians. He was like, yes, I'm making a playlist for you. Listen to these songs. I was like, like seriously, this is so
There's
amazing.
so much.
So much. It's nothing this phrase now. There's more to it than meets the eye. Music
For
industry in
sure.
India has so many different beautiful artists that people don't even know about. And coming to rap as well, rap is something that has been going on in India for so long, but people didn't know
Yeah.
about that. And
Yeah.
right now, it's coming up slowly and slowly, and new artists are being encouraged, being backed up. It's so beautiful to see that different industries are actually progressing, but music industry is progressing in all different way. So I'm really happy to that you brought that second point up, because a lot of people don't understand about that thing at all. So this is my last question to you, that what kind of changes have you seen in yourself as an individual when you compare yourself today and when you started back then as a musician, as an independent artist?
Okay. I think definitely it's clarity, like a lot more clarity, because when you start out, it is things are like everywhere and you don't know where to go. It's
Yeah.
all just there in front of you, and you're like, okay, here, okay, let me try here, let me try here, let me try here. Like you're just doing anything you can to that you believe will take you forward, or that you believe will lead somewhere or something. Or even if it's just like, even if it's a kind of song you want to make, you're like experimenting, you're trying. And there's a lot of just like, there's a lot of uncertainty, and there's a lot of trial and error, and confusion, and especially there's a lot of waiting, there's a lot of
Yeah.
wondering and stuff. So now I would say the biggest thing is just clarity in all forms, whether it's like who the kind of people I want to work with, whether it's the kind of music I want to make, whether it's the kind of etc, like even words I want to use, things like that. So yeah, that's a big
less
one.
of less of confusion, more of clarity here, right? You
Yeah.
know what you
Yeah.
want to do, how your a song is to be, and everything. But what
Yeah.
about patience level? Do you think that has also increased?
um I
Because
patience
I
I
believe that patience is something that is required when it comes to industries like this, which still India is progressing into. So I believe patience is something required. So that's why I'm asking this question: that do you think patience is something that was there with you, or has it increased?
honestly, like I don't even like pay attention to that emotion,
Oh,
because I'm just so focused on what I'm doing, and I'm just so in love with what I'm doing, that I'm not even thinking about. I think that's another thing. Like maybe in the beginning you're trying to see what can happen, what can happen, what can happen. And I think now I'm in a place where I'm just focused on what I'm doing, and I just love it, and that's what I wake up for every day and go to sleep for every day. So when you say patience, like um sure, yeah, there is definitely like patience for maybe like a certain vision to transpire, um but at the end of the day, it's not like I'm sitting like, okay, I have to be patient, I have to be patient. It's not like that either. It's more like just I'm just so happy doing what I love to do, and I'm that's it,
okay.
that's what it is.
I really want to ask you, if you didn't have the chance to go for this industry and you couldn't actually pursue this as a thing, what would
Mm-hmm.
you be doing right now? Like after,
Writing. I would be a writer.
okay, you
Yeah,
have
and if I couldn't.
that's nice.
Sorry.
I
Sorry.
was thought that you would have been like you would take some time to think about it, but you're actually doing what you like.
No. I have loads of answers. If I couldn't, if you ask me if you couldn't be a writer, then I would probably be doing a PhD in social psychology.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
amazing.
that was actually my plan. That's what I was gonna do in college, and then I switched to music. I was gonna do a PhD in social psychology.
So you're a psychology student.
Yeah, I studied psychology in college.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people don't actually pursue this psychology as a background, and
Yeah.
right now I'm trying, like I'm seeing our generation, I am seeing a lot of people actually getting into this zone, and from
Yeah.
my community as well, like from the Marwari community, I haven't seen parents actually back a lot of children to pursue psychology, but I can see a lot of parents saying ki, ha, my daughter can do this is something that is a booming industry. Yes, they
Yeah.
have this prospect of having the career pura ekdam boom and everything, but actually understanding about mental health is something people are understanding. So that's why I was really happy to see that you had this
Yeah.
background as well, and I believe some characteristics are there because of that, something that you pursued as psychology, because I had only 1 month of, I had the chance to take a workshop for 1 month as for psychology last year,
Mm-hmm.
which has helped me understand myself better, and then the society around me as well. So
Mm-hmm.
I totally can see that some of your interesting thoughts, your features, and whatever you think, and how you think and how you deal with the situations around you is something that is related to that. And so that's where I can relate it as well. Thank you so much, Bhavna. It's been amazing to talk to you, because I got the whole idea of how this industry is, and also your how your experience has been as a musician. Because sharing your the main objective of my podcast this season is to let people know that these are some things that you can pursue if you want to pursue it. You need to be passionate about it, and you need to know that this is something that you want to do. And somewhere they get stuck talking to people like you, who are actually in this industry right now, experiencing different difficulties, progressing and growing, and having the opportunity to introspect as well, is something that people would like to connect with, and then it will help them to grow. So this was the whole thing about the whole episode, and thank you so much. I'm so happy with the whole episode as well. So thank you so much for your insights and everything.
Likewise, it was great. And yeah, like, I mean, it's all just about that self-belief. I think it's without that, you can't move forward in something like this. It's about, you have to be a little delusional, and passion is like, uh, it's a given. If you don't have that, then then nothing. So
Thank
yeah.
you so much everyone for listening to this episode. If you like my content and still haven't subscribed to my channel, you can do it now and help me grow. And if you like the episode today, please like, share and comment as well. And I have shared a few links down on the description below. Please give a follow. Also, my podcast is available on various other platforms. The link to them are on the description below. Thank you so much everyone. Next episode next Saturday.